Frank Spillers here, founder of Experience Dynamics, and it's time for this week's UX Power Up. So today I'd like to ask the very basic question, what is UX? And one of the reasons why I think this question doesn't get defined very often is UX is a lot of things. So UX stands for user experience. And what is it? So let's talk about it. User experience is a result. It's not really a field. It's something that you get out of interacting with a product, a design, a device, and so forth. And so it's your customer and the experience that they have as they're interacting with your interfaces, with your designs, pushing buttons, opening menus, swiping, selecting, if it's a physical product, holding, moving, shaking, whatever it is. And the totality of how they interact with it, so there's another one, is interaction, is defined by their experience. So user experience, the actual term, is a term that Dr. Donald Norman coined at Hewlett-Packard in 1992. And the reason why he coined the term was to define user experience in a more kind of holistic fashion. So beyond usability, which is sort of when you're down in the details of interacting with a button, you push the button and it does something. You can actually see a control and then interact with it. That's more usability. But user experience is kind of wider. And so when I say that, what I mean is that because we're dealing with a user who is essentially a human information processor, right? In the sense that they think, see, hear, feel, that they make sense of, they perceive, whether it's buttons or whether it's menu items or logos or areas of a screen that they have to interact with, that person is also having expectations from previous designs they've used. They may also be exposed to the advertising, to the branding, to the pre-sales process and the public relations. If you think about Apple, what's the Apple user experience? It's not just opening the box. It's not just using their software or products. It's actually the PR of people waiting in lines beforehand. It's the Apple developer conferences where they release it. It's all these expectations. So these things form those kind of pictures or mental models. Expectations the user brings to the experience, all those things together, including after they've finished using the product. So those, what we call reflections, those kind of the experience they have after they're done. And this is, when someone uses, for example, a website, it's not a conscious thing. They don't say, well, let's see, that was an easy to use website, I think I'll return. These are more kind of unconscious processes, in the same way that when you use a door, if the door was easy to fit through and maybe you moved a table through the door, you think, oh, I could probably get my furniture through that door confidently. And so next time when you're moving your furniture, you don't even think about it. You just go through the door and expect it to be wide enough. And that's how websites are too, is we're left with that unconscious impression, thinking, oh, that was a reliable site. I think I'll log in again. And that's how we measure success, is in that return, what we call an intention to return. So that's an aspect of user experience as well. Now, very practically, user experience, and it's also called user experience design. It's also called user experience architecture, like a UX architect or UX designer. That is an actual process. So if you will, user experience is the result we're looking for, but there are a bunch of things that we do to create good experiences. And of course, we're looking for positive, good experiences as opposed to negative experiences. We're essentially looking to put a smile on a user's face. That's the very basic definition I have for user experience, is making your user smile. That's a good experience. If your users walk out of your store, or of an encounter with your design, an encounter with your product, they've had a good experience, they're smiling, and that's a win. So I hope that helps define user experience and what user experience is really, which is many things, but really it's a result that we get from a human product interaction. And we'll talk more about what other types of design characteristics follow user experience in future power-ups. In the meantime, happy user experiencing, happy UXing. We'll see you in a future power-up.